Okay, well, it took me a while to figure out how to do it again. So I'm going to turn off the volume on the other thing. And we're going to do another Procreate landscape. It's Easter morning, so happy Easter. And I'm going to do a simple sunrise demonstration on Procreate. So let's just begin. I already have my canvas ready. It's a 27 by 21. And I already have a reference photo picked out. My reference photo is a picture I took a couple weeks ago when I was camping, and there it is. It was a morning. We went walking in the woods at um, Stephen Foster Folk Culture Center State Park here in Florida. And so let me show you how I would approach this painting. Now, my hope is that it won't be as photo looking. It'll look more like a painting. Okay, right now it's a photo that I'm using as a reference. So the first thing I want to do is I want to change the background, and I'm going to make it an orangish color. And the reason for that is because if you go to green, let's go to a green like that shade of green, put it in the circle, the color circle, and you go opposite, it becomes a purple. Maybe I'll make it a purple then. I don't know why I was thinking, okay, let me make it purple. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll make it purple. So I want to make the background that same purple. So let's just do that. That's what I want. I guess that's. Wait a minute. I always mess up on this. Wait, I want to change the background. Background purple. Purple. There it is. That looks like right. Did I do it right? Let's see. There I got it. It's close enough. All right, let's clear that one. We don't need that. We don't need it twice. I might change it to orange. I sort of felt like orange would be the better color as a background, as a starting layer. You know what I'm going to do though? Let me clear that one first. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it less saturated. More like that. You know, that's the opposite of that. So maybe I will do that because there's a lot of blue in the sky. So I think I am gonna stick with my original gut feeling of making it an orangish brown. Okay. All right. So now the brush I'm going to use is from the painting category, if I can find it. Painting, and I'm going to use the dry brush. And so let's just get started. So we know that the sky is blue. So let's go ahead and get some blue. Use the other palette. Kind of a light blue. Desaturate it a little bit. There you go. I'm just going to make the brush kind of large. And I'm going to scrub it in. Okay. Just scrub in this sky. The sky goes about halfway down. Goes about down to there. So this is going to be a quick one because I got to go out this morning. Rob and I going to church, and then we're going to go have lunch with her family. So just want to scrub it in real quick. What I like about the reference photo, the reason I chose it is because it's got dappled light. So the dappled light is what I was looking for. All right, there we go. Let me just lighten a little bit toward the bottom. Usually the sky becomes lighter as you get closer to the horizon, even though you can't really see the horizon here. But I'll put it in there anyway because we're going to paint over it anyway. Okay. And maybe a little bit darker blues toward the top, kind of blend them in. So we have kind of a natural looking sky there. even though, like I say in the photograph and in the final painting, you won't see much of the sky. All right, now let's do the land in the background. It looks like it's a mixture of the light brown and the dark brown because of the dappled light. So let's go ahead and find that. This looks about right. So let's just go ahead and put some of that in there. Just scrub it in. Put it in the background there. We've got some light colors coming in from the path. That's what I like about this picture too, is there's a path here. And it looks like it comes over here and it goes over here. So we'll go ahead and put that path in there. There we go. Just a hint of it. Just scrubbing it in, scrubbing in the shape of it. I get some dark, almost unsaturated browns here. And I'm representing that area right there. It goes all the way over. Okay. And then over here we have sort of a little bit darker, but still light brown. So let's put that in there. Maybe there. A little bit lighter, I guess. Okay. And again, some of these lights from the sidewalk here. And some super dark greens. Super dark greens. So here's the greens. We're going to go with super dark. Super dark. So this is all scrubbing in the first layer. Just getting in the first layer. It should even be darker than that, I think. Darker and less saturated. Okay. And we'll put some over here. And one hint I would give you in looking at a landscape, whether it's on a reference photo or in real life, is to try to blur it, squint your eyes and see it from a blurry perspective. And then try to paint what you see as a blur. And then you can come back and focus it a little bit. Okay, a couple of vertical lines here. There we go. Just a couple of vertical lines representing these trees. There we go. So you see the landscape happening here. I have the sidewalk going a little bit too high. It probably should be lower. So let's go ahead and add some of these yellow greens here, because it looks like that's what's back there. Looks like you got some yellow greens poking through. Some of where the sunlight is hitting in the background. Some yellow greens in the upper parts of the trees. Okay, and let me correct this area here. It looks like I made it way too high. The sidewalk looks like I went way too high. Let me sample from the road itself, the sidewalk itself. Just make it that same color. Yeah, I think that's what it does. I think it goes that way. Yeah, I think it curves and then goes straight there. So that's what's happening there. There we go. And we get some of these darks here. We'll bring it closer to the sidewalk here. Yeah. Get some darks here. See dark areas up here for the trees. So this is still all the first layer. And there's a tree that comes right here. A couple of trees. Okay. Now let's go for a little bit of. We'll go for the unsaturated purple. See if that works for the shadows on on the street, on the sidewalk. They're just dappled light. It's maybe a little bit darker than that. Just kind of scribble it in. And then get the darker version of that orange right there. Make that the shadow of the trees. Looks like the sun is coming this way. So all the shades, all the shadows will be coming this way. Make it darker. Make the whole tree darker. There we go. More trees here. More trees back here. Over here, got this bent one over here. Yeah, you got a lot of dappled light happening back here. It's happening everywhere. There's the shade from that one, the shadow. There's another tree, another shadow. So we're just putting and a lot of these shadows are going across the sidewalk, of course. Of course, there you go. There we go. There's a slight bent tree over there. There's a couple of places where these trees branch out. All right. All right, and there's our sidewalk right there. Again, the dappled light is everywhere in this picture. So, okay, so that's going to be, I think that's enough for the first layer. Maybe add some more trees. It's the obvious element of this picture is all these trees. And it seems overwhelming, right, when you first look at it. How am I going to draw all those trees? Well, you don't worry about drawing all of them. You just you create a painting so that it looks like lots of trees. The truth is, you're not painting any trees, you're painting shapes. And that's the key right there, to think that way. Half of the battle is how you think, right? And it's true for a lot of things. All right, let's go ahead and get some of this bright sunlight on there we go, on some of those areas over there. Okay, let's get some more darker areas on the sidewalk itself, like some extreme dark. It's not. It's a very contrasted, shadowy area. So let's make sure we respect the contrast that is being shown to us in the photograph and in the real world. Okay, some more vertical lines to represent the trees. Maybe some more dark areas here. I'm still working on the first layer. I don't know why I'm sticking with the first layer. Just I guess because I don't really see a need to do a second layer yet. You know, if you work in traditional paint, you work in layers, but not the same way you do with digital. So this is almost like working traditionally. Okay. Now you really don't see how the sky is showing way a lot in here. Well, in the picture, the sky is not showing very much. There's very little sky. So let's go to a second layer. Let's take that first layer and double it and see what happens. It might make her richer. Yeah, it did, and I like that. So let's merge them down. All right, now let's go to a second layer and get some of these dark greens, dark greens, and kind of dab them in just all over the place. Oh, a little darker than that, I think, or less saturated. Just put them all over the place. Still less saturated. let's just figure out where all these green areas are here. All these leaves, this very rich forest here. Yeah, this is where we were walking. We went that morning through the woods. So now the title of the video, I called it Easter sunrise, and I want this to have a sunrise effect to it also. So we're going to worry about that in a moment. But just tap it in there. Get lots of leaves, and what we want to do in order to get that morning effect is we'll get these dark shadows, and then we're going to make sure we get plenty of light coming through, because it is going to be morning. It's going to be morning. Okay, let's get it even less saturated than that, way over there. Yeah, just tap it in. Tap it in, tap it in. Yeah. Make that a little bit darker. Some of these trees need to be darker still. Okay, just keep kind of make a mixture of the vertical lines and the leaves. Just kind of put them in there. And some of these shadows that are coming across from the other trees. Let's go ahead and bring them across. This bush right here is the closest thing that we will be working with. It's the closest thing to the camera. So it's going to be a little, it has to have a little bit of detail look to it. Okay. Here you can already see it's coming together as a landscape, as a trail or a path in the woods. In this particular case, it was a paved path, so the pavement gives it a little bit more of a white look to it, a brighter look, and I'm going to keep it that way. I was thinking about making it look like a dirt road, but I think I will just keep it the way it is. Okay, now let's, I guess I keep wanting to make it darker. All right, now I want to make some of this, the sidewalk considerably darker. Some of these shadows need to be more present. So I'm just gonna, and the beauty of this is if I overdo it, then I can go back with the light colors. I think even darker than that. Just all kinds of trees just casting shadows. That's what's happening here. So, and the color of the shadows in off the path is a little bit different than the color of shadows on the path. Same thing with the color of the sunlight on the path is a little bit different. Sunlight coming in through. Okay. Okay, now let's just add a little bit more dark green, really super dark green to the background here, just a few, just obscure the sky a little bit more. All right, let's add some of those lighter greens, just because the sunlight is making its way through. Make it even brighter. I'm going to make it dabbed in there. Over here on this close bush too, we're going to have the sunlight hitting it. Okay. Okay, let's double up that layer and see what it does. See if we like it. Oh, I'm not sure. I think I like it better without it. So let's just keep it like that. All right, now let's get rid of the reference photo. We understand what's going on enough that we can get rid of that, and therefore we can make this much larger. And now we can finish the painting in a painterly way. And we're also going to take liberties with this painting because we're going to make the sun rise, okay? So let's make a separate layer, I think. I think that's what I'll do just in case I mess up. Okay, so I think I want these trees even darker than I originally made them. Okay. Some of the shadows would be darker too. Just make it a little bit more defined, I think. Okay. Okay, some more dappled shadows here. Just a few. All right, now let's take what we know about sunlight is it's usually, especially in the morning, has sort of a glow. So let's take that and put it on the side of some of these trees here. Just in places. It wouldn't be uniform because it's dappled even in a vertical way. The dappled light happens to the trees. Okay. Let's put some light coming through here. Okay. Yeah, let's make some of that bright orange. Make some of that hitting the ground here. Because I think what I want to do is make the sun right there, some peeking through. Let's start that process. Just a little bit bright sunlight. The morning sun. It's poking its face through the leaves. It's going to have a glow. It's going to make it hard to look directly at it. And it's going to have beams coming through the trees. Like that. And the whole sky around that sun will be, this can be light just poking through everywhere. So let's make some of those beams here. Yeah, the sun is making its way through. You see it? Yeah, that sun is making its way through. The whole sky is much brighter over where that sun is. There we go. Easter sunrise, that's what we're calling this. Okay. There's the sun hitting some of these spots here on the ground. And over here in this tree, this bush. It's making its way over here. It's making its way to these trees. Okay. Now let's try to accentuate it a little bit more. Use some more bright spots on some of these vertical lines here. Yeah, I like that sun coming through like that. All right, now let's take the whole picture, and darken it. Let's just experiment a little bit with this. Well, first let's double that layer, see how that looks. Let's see what that looks like when we double that layer. It's a little too exaggerated, so I don't think I want that. All right, let's put these down. Let's make this all one layer. And now everything's on one layer. Okay, I'm going to make another layer. This is going to be a multiply layer. See the M right there? That makes it a multiply layer. And what I want to do is I want to take, I almost a grayish orange, like right there, and cover the whole thing. Now it's got a warm glow to the whole picture. But let me try a blue one. I'm not so sure I like that warm one. Let me try blue. Maybe a lighter blue. Maybe a lighter blue. Still lighter than that. Tiny bit lighter. Almost white. Okay, now the reason I did that is so that I can accent the brightness of the sun. So I'm going to take my eraser, make sure it's the same as my brush, which is the dry brush, and I'm going to erase what I did on that multiply layer, because that'll brighten up things. Look at this. Look what happens there. Look at that sun coming through, and it's hitting the ground, and it's making everything bright. Yes. It's hitting those trees. And it's hitting that grass over there, and that sidewalk over there. See how it's making everything brighter, but not everywhere, just where it's making its way through. And it's got some on this tree here, this bush, and some back here. Yeah, the sun is waking up the world. Okay, now I didn't like everything, so let me put some of that blue back in there. Yeah, that part I didn't like. I like keeping that a little bit in the dark there because the sun's over here. All right, now back to the erasing. But isn't that cool how it makes the light spots very light? And I think we got it. I think we have a relatively simple but effective picture of a morning, the morning sun shining into a wooded area. We could work more. We could maybe another layer. Let's just try a couple more vertical lines. Just a few more. Maybe it needs some wisps, some smaller trees that are growing up in the area. Maybe even some things that are almost hard to see. Make sure everything you put in there has a shadow. If it's big enough, it should create some kind of a shadow. And you know what? Maybe there's some stones or some dark leaves in here. And there would also be some bright spots here. Some of these things would be lit from the sun. Some of these little leaves and little pieces of grass that are growing in here. Just hint at them. Because this is a second layer, a separate layer, we can always change them if we want to. Okay, I just think little hints of unidentified spots, bright spots, dark spots, probably being caused by leaves or rocks. Or anything really. Just erasing little pieces here and there. Some of the stuff I put I don't like. The only thing I want to do now, I want to copy the whole thing. So you do 3 fingers, and then you go copy all. Do 3 fingers again. Try not to smudge the picture. And do paste. And now I've pasted the whole picture. It'll take a second here. Come on, baby. Come on. It's taking a while. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so now we have an inserted image. Can I do it twice? Oh yeah, let me do it twice. That way I have a good one and a new one. So I'm going to take that one. I just want to see what happens if I mess with the curves a little bit. This graph down here. So let's see. If I add a little bit of red. Let's see. Mess with the green a little bit. Let's mess with the blue a little bit. Kind of like that. Now let's see, compare it. Well, there's not much difference, is there? Let's try the gamma. The gamma is married to the gamba. Gamma, get it? Never mind. Right now, let's try it. Not much difference. Okay. So I didn't really change it at all. Just to compare the two. There's the new one. There's the old one. Yeah, it's hard to tell. The new one is slightly warmer. There's the new one. There's the old one. I like the old one better. So let's get rid of the new one. No reason to keep it. Now I'm going to assign my name to it. So let me do that. I'll make it really big. I will get the turpentine brush. There it is. I'll get a light color, white. And I'll put my name down here. And sign it. I think signing your paintings is good for the person who wants a copy of it. I guess it's a way of branding also. And that is important. Don't let anybody tell you it's not important to try to sell your art. It's how you gonna survive? You have to. So, all right, I made that too big. So I'm gonna shrink it. Oops, shrink it, and then let's move the 2023 over. Whoops. Wait a minute. It didn't work. Let's try it again. Take the 2023 and move it over there and make the whole thing smaller. Tiny little. I don't need a big name on it. Just enough so that the person who buys the print can say, "Oh, this is a Larry Whitler painting." Okay, and it's very sketchy, very rough. I think it does a good job of showing cool and warm in the same picture. So that's not always something I like, but it seems to have worked with this one. So I'm going to call it Easter Sunrise, and I will show you my website where I'm going to make it available for sale along with all of the other paintings I have on there. Oops. Apparently, I can't do that. So I have to have another layer. Okay, here's the other layer. Okay. Now I'm going to show you my website. It's http:// no W's. I'm not sure why. I'm not a computer guy. LARRY, and then a hyphen, and then my last name WHITLER, and then dot pixels PIXELS.com. And then I'll stretch it out so you can see the whole thing as one big thing. There. So there's my that's the address where my art is available. check it out. Browse through it, see if you like anything there. I'll put this picture on there without the words, obviously. All right, it's Easter Sunday. You guys have a good Easter. I'm gonna go out now. Robin and we're gonna do church, or we're gonna go with the family. Robin made a nice dinner, and I hope you guys are doing well. If you have any questions or you want to make any comments, please be kind. I will answer questions and I'll reply to comments. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you have a good time with your art. Digital art is fun. I love it on an iPad. If you have a Cintiq, that's nice. That's beautiful too. Working with Photoshop and whatever other programs are out there. All right, I'm gonna turn this off and say goodbye because I gotta go. Baby. I gotta make my way out of town. All right, see you later.